Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. Another nice day with a slight breeze. You can see the shadow from the turbine over there making its little flicker thing go on. And you all got a good look at the dogs and puppies as I walked out. So that's covered. So we had a change in the weather forecast again. Don't you love the weather guessers? They couldn't get it right if they tried, I swear. So anyway, the thing that they're saying now is that Thursday night into Friday, there's an 85% chance of rain. And the temperatures are still going to go up, but they're going to go up a little bit higher than what they were saying. Instead of low 80s, they're going to go up into the high 80s. So interesting enough, there goes the two girls down the road. Can't figure out why they do that every night. But they sure like, the other dogs sure like playing in my soil over here. They've got it spread out all over the place. So that's covered. So the weather has changed. So in today, I did some planting because it was a nice day, and looks like the geoengineers are doing their thing up there. So yeah, I guess we are going to have a weather change. Tomorrow is supposed to be the big solar eclipse, and with all of the conspiracy theories going around out there, it's pretty interesting to follow, both on the TV news and the internet. And everybody's trying to get clickbait over the weird things that are going to happen because of the solar eclipse. And I liked one guy I watched on YouTube. And he said, listen, if anything weird happens during this solar eclipse, it's not because of the solar eclipse. It's because your government is doing something. He says these solar eclipses happen multiple times a year all over the earth. And there's nothing that they have ever found scientifically that causes weird things to happen, like major earthquakes and all of that stuff. Totally ridiculous. So some people are saying it's going to start World War III. I mean, trust me, this guy is right when he says there's no way in the world that the eclipse is going to cause that to happen. If that happens, it's because of the governments. That's all there is to it. All right. So, out here today, I planted in this little area right here, cilantro. I got like, I don't know, 5 plants across and 5 plants, about 25 plants in this little section right here. And I fertilized everything and I watered it in. So we're all set with that. Then I had more cilantro, so I put it over here. And I wrote right on here, cilantro 4-6, the day it went in. I noticed that these grape clippings that I cut off during pruning are all budding and popping. So I'm going to have some more grapevines growing here. I'm sure my neighbors might be interested in some of those. But look at my onions, and the red onions, the sweet onions, brown onions, and garlic. Everything is coming up roses. And I didn't even plant roses. Yeah. I crack myself up sometimes. All right. So, I plucked a few of these tall seedlings coming off of my asparagus and stuck them in the ground to see if they root. And I'll get a few more plants out of that. I also put some cilantro in here, 2 rows. And over there, I put in some baby watermelon. The baby bush watermelon. I only put in 2 seeds per hole and 3 sets there. And I'll have to thin those out if they sprout. But I wanted to make sure I got something out of it, so that's the way I went with that. That grapevine has really taken off, and so is this one up here. Really lots of stuff going on in there. So I also had some extra cilantro seeds, so I put them down the center between the radishes right here. Won't hurt anything. And then, let's see, what else did I do? The spinach. So, I think I did the spinach up over here. Yeah, I did. So, I got the little tag in there, spinach, 4-6. And I did 4 rows of spinach going from that tag down to just before my asparagus here. It ended about right there. And yes, those are eggshells you see in there. When they're that big, it's slow release calcium for the soil, and that's good. My soil is in really good shape. The nutritions in it are just great. Look at my greens over here. Just going to seed on my my ruffled kale. So I'll let that happen, and I'll get some seeds out of it, and then I'll pluck the leaves and use those for dinner or something. There's some cabbage down here too I've got going. So yeah, everything's looking great. Just really, really great. And I came over here and looked at more of the grafts, and they're growing fast. Look at this. That thing is doubled in size overnight. And that one over there, I can see it starting to show some green coming out the end of it. So all my grafts have taken. Look at the green coming out of this one. Just wonderful. That's Fuji apple. And this is Granny Smith right here. I love it. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. All right. So, you remember I had crab apples. Those 2 little crab apples that I put in. Actually, they came from apple seeds from a grocery store. And I had those that had popped up in between the garlic down here. So I took those out today. And I got them repotted. And we're going to come down here and I'm going to show you the Harry Potter. I mean the repot. So there they are. There's 1, 2, 3. So I got 3 of them going in these pots right here. So we'll see how those things turn out. They're going to be crab apple, but that's okay. The crab apples will feed the chickens. But also, when they get older, like this Fuji that I grow from seed, which is also going to be crab apple because it came from a seed. Apple trees, pear trees, that stuff, they're not true to seed, so you've got to graft them. I've already grafted one on here, which is another apple, and it's taken, and I can see the buds are all starting to pop out of it. Everything's looking good. This one's got growth on the top of it. These are grafts going on the quince tree. And that's a Honeycrisp on this side, and Bartlett pear on that side. And over here I got Granny Smith coming out of the top there, and I got Granny Smith coming out right there. And they're all successful grafts. They're all doing great. So I did get everything watered and fertilized. I got my my fruit tree fertilizer there. That's a brand new bag I just opened today. And that contains beneficial soil microbes, so it'll help everything really go crazy. And to believe it or not, since I was in here earlier this morning doing all of this and watered everything, this fig tree looks like it's got a lot of extra new growth on it. Amazing. It really liked that fertilizing. So I pulled all the dirt away from the base of the trunks. Very important when you got trees planted. During the winter, you can cover the soil with, like I got here, the chicken straw and chicken feathers and chicken manure and all of that mixed together. And I put about three inches on top of the soil to keep the soil warm, and that keeps the plants happy. And now that spring is here, look at the fresh growth coming out of this thing. See that? It's just loving it. So hopefully I'll see some flowers on this a little later this year. That'll be nice. And we'll have some fun. All right. So we're at 11 minutes in right now. So I'm going to say I made some dog biscuits today, and I made some people biscuits. The people biscuits are chocolate covered walnut clusters. And I'm going to add into this video, when I'm editing, I will add in pictures of the dog biscuits I made and of the chocolate walnut clusters. All right, so you'll get to see those on photographs. And the dog biscuits I made contain pumpkin, all natural peanut butter, cinnamon, turmeric, a little bit of vegetable oil, a little bit of bacon fat, and flour. And you mix it up in a dry mix. And then I used a 4-inch round cookie cutter to cut a round out of it, and then took a half cut out of each side of that big round, which made a bow tie type dog biscuit in the middle, and 2 little football shaped biscuits that come off of there. So for the puppies, they get the little biscuits, and the big dogs get the bow tie biscuits. I also made some dog food with rice and some canned chicken and some beans. Beans are fine, but you gotta don't make sure you don't put onion or anything like that when you cook them. Just cook them in plain water, and don't do it all the time. Switch on from the beans and dry dog food back and forth if you can, just as a filler, because it is good protein, but it's non-fat protein. And of course, in the colder weather, the dogs need a little bit more fat because they use that to keep warm. All right, all my aloe vera plants here all doing nice. I might have to see if I can sell some of those down the street, maybe get some cash for that, because I put my property taxes on a credit card today to make sure that they were paid on time, because they have a thing out here where property with unpaid taxes, people can actually go online and find those properties that are in arrears for taxes, and they can buy that property for the price of the owed taxes. And they can show up and move onto that property, and you can't kick them off. It's a weird law, but it's not right. It's definitely not right. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Anyway, my peas are coming up really strong here. Of course, not as many as I wanted, so I'm going to get some more pea seeds and get them in there, and they'll just be a second crop of them. This first crop will come up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Those will come up, and as I'm picking the peas on those, the others will be right behind them. All right, so I got all of that. So for my dinner tonight is chicken leg quarters, and I got them seasoned with garlic, paprika, a little bit of salt, black pepper, and that's about it. And they're offset on the barbecue cooking right now. So today was 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 20 degrees Celsius for you metric people. And Pierre from Heat Seeker Bus, who visited here back in 2020, texted me today and said he's got a bunch of mosquitoes on his window screen. And he just had snow up there. I said, that's weird. But he did send me a thing that said that his temperatures were up to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about, I guess that's about 8 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, I said, that's weird. You know, that cold and mosquitoes are already breeding. Oh, is he going to have a bad year? Oh, yeah, I did fertilize and water all my tomatoes out there. So those are ready. I'm going to have to put some calcium on there, and I've got some powdered eggshell. I put them in a blender and just grind the hell out of them until they're powder, and I'll sprinkle that around as soon as the tomatoes sprout up, as soon as I get a little bit of a plant going. And that helps with the rooting and helps prevent blossom end rot. You could also buy calcium chloride and add that to the soil, but it's eggshells. I got plenty of them. I have a couple of eggs every morning for breakfast, and very seldom I'll go off the bacon and eggs and toasted hash browns for breakfast, and I'll have waffles instead, or pancakes. So other than that, that's the end of it. I'm going to go inside and take a little break while I'm uploading this, and I'll make sure that I put those pictures in around 11 minutes or so, from 11 to 11 and a half minutes. You'll see the pictures pop up of the dog biscuits and that stuff. And if anybody wants the exact recipe on those, just let me know down in the comment section, and I'll be glad to either post that, or I'll give you my email address. You can email me and I'll send you the recipe in email. This is G Bear signing off.